People always say your wedding day is supposed to be the happiest day of your life. Mine became the day that destroyed me. The morning started perfectly. Sunlight poured through the hotel curtains while makeup artists rushed around the room. My mother kept crying every time she looked at me in my dress, and honestly, I couldn't stop smiling either. After 6 years together, Daniel and I were finally getting married. I remember staring at myself in the mirror thinking, this is it. This is the beginning of forever. And beside me through all of it was Chloe, my best friend since childhood. She helped me zip my dress, adjusted my veil, held my hands when my nerves kicked in. At one point, she looked at me with tears in her eyes and whispered, "You look beautiful." I hugged her tightly. I had no idea she was hiding the biggest betrayal of my life. The church looked magical that afternoon. White roses lined the aisle, candles flickered softly, and everyone we loved filled the seats. Then the music started. The doors opened, and I saw Daniel standing at the altar. He looked emotional, nervous, almost guilty, but I ignored the feeling in my stomach. As I walked down the aisle, I noticed Chloe sitting in the front row. Everyone else looked happy, but she looked terrified. I should have known then that something was wrong. The ceremony continued normally at first. The priest spoke about love, trust, and commitment. Funny, isn't it? Trust. Then came the moment that changed everything. The priest asked, "Does anyone object to this union?" And suddenly, "I do." The entire church froze. I turned slowly, confused, and saw Chloe standing there shaking, tears streaming down her face. At first, I honestly thought she was joking. Then she looked directly at me and said the words I'll never forget. "Daniel has been sleeping with me for over a year." It felt like the air disappeared from the room. I remember laughing nervously because my brain refused to accept what I had just heard. I looked at Daniel, waiting for him to deny it. But he couldn't even look me in the eyes. That silence shattered me more than any words could. My hands started trembling. My bouquet slipped onto the floor. People around me whispered in shock while my mother cried somewhere behind me. Then Chloe pulled out her phone. Messages, photos, hotel reservations, proof. Every image felt like another knife in my chest. The man I planned my future with, and the girl I trusted like a sister, had been betraying me together for an entire year. And somehow, the worst part wasn't losing him. It was realizing Chloe stood beside me during dress shopping, bridal parties, wedding planning, while secretly destroying my life behind my back. I felt humiliated, broken, angry. The church turned chaotic. Some guests walked out awkwardly while others stared at me with pity. Pity. I hated that look more than anything. Then Daniel finally opened his mouth and said, "I never meant for this to happen." I remember staring at him thinking, betrayal doesn't accidentally happen. People make choices. Over and over again. I slowly took off my wedding ring and walked toward him. The entire church went silent. I placed the ring into his hand and whispered, "You didn't ruin one day. You ruined the part of me that believed in love." Then I turned around and walked away alone. The same aisle I dreamed of walking down as someone's wife became the aisle I walked down heartbroken and humiliated. That night, I sat alone in the empty reception hall. The music had stopped. The food sat untouched. The giant wedding cake still stood perfectly decorated while my entire life collapsed around me. I cried harder than I ever had before. Not because I lost Daniel, but because two people I loved most chose to destroy me together. Later that night, Chloe sent me a text message. "I never wanted to hurt you." I stared at it for a long time before deleting her number forever. Because some betrayals cut too deep for forgiveness.